Hello, Collective. It's Wednesday, August 6th, and this is an all signs reading. This is a different format that I tried because I'm trying to combine showing how the cards come out organically with also being able to give a really comprehensive reading. So if you like it, please subscribe and thanks. Hey, welcome to your all signs reading. Let's jump in. There's a lot going on here. This is a time of transition and transformation for a lot of us. This is your reading. If you stumbled on this and you're watching this, this is your reading. This is an all signs reading. There's a part of you and your motivation in general, your desires, what's keeping you going every day, what makes you excited, that has been a bit underground. Dormant, I want to say. But you've had a lot of imagination, and you have been either passively, through social media or just watching others, or actively, you've been exploring something that is new to you. It's a different perspective. This could be like a spiritual or cult or that type of, something a bit abstract. And I think that you're bringing that into new areas of your life currently. So you've been preparing. And I think that when you think about the future, try not to be too perfectionistic, okay? Like, allow yourself grace to have some fun, because I have a serious vibe over here. And, I just think that when we're looking into what could happen in the future, it's just based on what's happening right now. And then you have your free will. So this is great for you. Continue to explore, continue to take chances, continue to be flexible, mentally flexible. If we're looking at the environment that is interacting with your desires and the things that drive you and inspire you and give meaning to you, when you were in the hermit mode, this could be the world, this could be your home, this could be your job, whatever it is. There's this environment of, I want to say, rigidity. There is a clear way that people do things. And it's the way it is because it's been that way. And that's the system that you grew up in, and that's what you compare your own performance to. So, nonetheless, the environment now is that you've, internally, you have gained a certain level of understanding about something, even if it's something that you've been studying for a long time. This is a niche in there that you're sort of venturing into, challenging yourself. Again, your passion and the process to bring this passion to fruition may be at odds with each other, which is, I think a lot of artists are that way. There's something that drives them to do their art. However, they may be holding themselves up to standards that are not aligned with what they're currently doing. And that is one of the, maybe that's where what is that called? How artists don't become rich or famous until they're dead, like that whole concept. It could be something like that. Like, you are in a field or in a stage in your life where the only other people or institutions or strategies that you can compare yourself to are completely different than what you have in mind. And I think that could be a little bit stifling, and that's a challenge. That's why it is so important for you to be internally motivated, because it's something that you want and you desire and you want to do for forever, let's say. Because, even in the future, where I was saying, don't be too perfectionistic, don't criticize yourself. Don't do that. Let me criticize you. You may look, if you're in any type of art came to mind, if you're in an artistic field, you're going to find that people like your stuff, people hate your stuff. You're in, you're out, like Heidi Klum, like Project Run. Maybe somebody who's on Project Runway or loves Project Runway is watching this. If you're getting into a field or a passion where people do judge it, that's part of the process, then just know that and don't be surprised when, other people critique your work. Because if you get anywhere and you have any eyes on you, then you will be critiqued, and not everyone will like you. So just expect that. Let's talk about your finances in your home, in your health. You're coming out of a pretty good space, even if it was short-lived. You definitely had you were making ends meet, if not better, and you're coming out of that, and you're building. You either have like someone that you're building with, a partnership or a group that you're joining, something like that. There's 3 cats here. You're going from the Empress into the 3 of Cups. And this is going somewhere good, this new thing. This is, I guess, what you do for money, pretty much. You're going into a really good place. The King of Pentacles in the place of money, I can't think of anything better. This is like really having several streams of income. Passive income, investing, solid. And this is going to happen because you're collaborating with people, like-minded people. So for the environment, you did collaborate with someone. Maybe it was this Empress. You did collaborate with somebody. You have the Lovers in reverse. This definitely didn't work out. This ended for whatever reason. We don't even have to really waste too much time on that, because currently your environment is the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a good place to be. You're getting accepted. This is profitable. This working with others. I wonder, is this a coach? I don't know. But there's a lot of pentacles there. I don't think this is a bad tower. After the Queen of Pentacles, your environment is the Tower. I don't think that's a bad tower. I think that's a good tower. Because you're the King of Pentacles. So, it could mean that your success means another person's demise, but that's not your motivation. If you're watching this reading, I don't see that here. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Let's talk about your relationships. Well, you've been using your intuition. Your intuition got you through something recently. You may not have been able to rely on too many people for whatever reason, but you knew what was going on, and that was you and spirit. That was like you getting downloads. Let's just jump over here and see what was going on around you. Yeah, this was not good. This wasn't good. You definitely, you had to like move and quick, because otherwise things were not going to go well. You must have gotten some sort of a message that you had to make a change, and you did. And it's almost like you went from 0 to 100, because 10 of Wands, you did a lot, and you did a lot fast, and you're feeling it. But you are getting some sort of acceptance here. Something is working out for you in your environment too. It really could be that people are seeing your value and seeing that, wow, you know, you went from the High Priestess to the 10 of Wands. I think that some people might not like it. Maybe some people don't like what you're doing, but that is not stopping you. You're still going. You're moving towards some sort of a passion. I think that you aren't really involved so much with other people right now. You're very focused. But there are other people that are involved with you. So that's interesting. Yeah, there's some sort of innovative, this could just be what we're going through astrologically, but there's a lot of new ideas. Maybe there hasn't been a lot of new ideas in a while, but there's new stuff coming. And I think that you're starting to gain momentum towards something. You're still on your journey, but you're making progress. And that's evident. Now let me think about this. Think about your thoughts. Okay, this is about your mind. That's our last category here. Something didn't work out for you. Right here, 7 of Cups in reverse. You had an idea. You wanted something to work. It didn't work out. So this is you're here in the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I think that you are taking a chance on yourself and doing something differently. You're refining something, and you're being imaginative. And there's something very intuitive about what you're doing. I know that the 5 of Cups, could mean that you are going from the Knight of Pentacles in reverse into, pessimism, and perhaps that would be the trajectory if something really didn't work out, and then you had to go in a completely different direction, and maybe you had to use your intuition, almost like the Hermit, like you were in the dark and just going on to intuition. So yes, you don't know what the next chapter is. So I think a lot of us default to, it might not work out. You entertain that possibility. I think that you have to be careful about that right now during this Lionsgate time, because, your environment is the Chariot. There's manifestations occurring, and not just yours, but others, and everyone is connected. So there is going to be an inter-reliance, a teaming up. This is the collective. People are going to be combining resources. Adjacent possibilities was one of your message cards. This is making me think of 2 small businesses merging together, rebranding and consolidating their resources, that kind of a thing. It It could have been something that had you even thought about doing it 4 years ago, it would have been utter failure to you, but now it almost seems exciting. Number 24 could be significant as well. There is a learning going on. And it's not just you. It's all of us. But it's something different for everyone. And the Four of Wands is, for me, it kind of represents like the American dream. You know, just having a home, having a family, being comfortable. And I think that with the way things have been going lately, that this is this is at stake. And that's why so many of us are adapting and transforming, so that we can keep dreaming and not forget the dream. Because we're building something. It could be light workers. It could just be the woke people who are just developing and ascending. But we are building something. And I think that it's very important to find your people and to they're out there, and to like I said, combine resources. Because another card I pulled from Spirit is take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. And I've heard this just in the past couple of days from other readers. You cannot do everything on your own. You know, it's like you start with the Hermit and ending over here with the Chariot. This is about being comfortable with your vulnerability. You may be tired. You may need help. Maybe everybody else feels that way too, you know? Yep, so keep your eyes open for your adjacent possibilities, and there are people around you that are looking for the same thing. This is a very important time in general. And maybe that's why Spirit threw these cards out. I don't know. I just know that your outcome in the near future is all dependent on how willing you are to be vulnerable and how much you believe in your truth, and finding the people that have that truth as well. And that has to be in alignment for you to have, you know, things the way you want it. So if that made any sense to you, please subscribe to my channel. And thanks a lot if you stayed to the end. Okay, have a great day, guys. Bye.